Practice Warriors, good morning. How are you guys? I'm so excited to be doing another live. I think that's 3 days in a row. So thank you for being here if you are here. And if you're on the replay crew, then thank you for that too. Um, wow, where to begin? I ask myself that question all the time. Rhonda, hello. Nice to see you. Um, So I'm going to ask you to hit that like button if you don't mind. It helps get the algorithm going. And, I haven't been doing announcements when I do my lives because I'm just lucky enough to be doing a live at all. I don't want to box myself into a time constraint that's impossible. Present, go on with the flow. Thanks, Shan. Thanks for modding. That's awesome. So do the sharing if you like, subscribing if you haven't already, or to check and see if you've been unsubscribed because the Hamburglar's been up to some crap. And ring your notification bell if you like to be notified. Yeah, I definitely think the Hamburglar's been up to some crap, but we won't get into that. We're just gonna stay positive. Bat sheet crazy. I love that. That's hilarious. Did I really catch a live? Yes, and they've been so rare lately. Yeah. For a while there, like around, I don't know, what was it, before Christmas? I was doing two lives a day. Do you guys remember that? I'd do one in the morning and one after lunch. It was pretty crazy. And they were both like usually about an hour, and it was awesome. But yeah, my schedule could not sustain that. My schedule is very tight and has trouble sustaining all of the stuff that it sustains. So, my one son friend and his friend's girlfriend was killed in a head-on car wreck, went into their lane. I am so sorry. Last night, Rhonda, oh my goodness, I could just cry for you. Ooh, um, thank goodness it wasn't your son. How old are these people? How old is your son? What a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. Um, I'm just heartbroken. These things are so traumatic. There's been so much trauma lately in the news. And where to begin? I always like to start with my disclaimer. Everything I say is simply my opinion, simply for the sake of conversation, hoping to open up a discussion, always hoping to be educational, and always hoping to get educated. So, thanks you guys for being my guinea pigs with my science experiment here. My son is 20. They graduated high school just 2 years ago. Oh, that's just devastating. What state are you in, if you don't mind my asking? Um, but if you don't want to say, that's fine too. So we'll just say no, thank you. So sorry, Rhonda. Praying for your son and all. Yeah, and for the people's families. My goodness, 20 years old. That is devastating at any age in Missouri. So yeah, dang, absolutely crazy. I know overnight there was the really bad hurricane yesterday in Florida, and parts of that state are just absolutely submerged because of the super blue moon. Did you guys get out and see the super moon? I got to see it last night. It was amazing. I did not finish my disclaimer statement. What was the last part? That all my videos so far are made for the YouTube, which is an entertainment platform. I always like to add that because, education, entertainment, I like to cover those bases. I like to aim to be educational, but this is an entertainment platform. So I feel like it's really important to point that out. And super important for everyone to know that everything I say is simply my opinion. So even if I state it as fact, which I often do. Yesterday, there were two things I stated as fact and said, that's a fact, in my opinion. Facts all come with points of view, to quote David Byrne from the Talking Heads. It is absolutely true. The way you present things, the way you frame things, the way you couch things paints a picture. I keep buffering. Nothing but clouds here last night. Is it buffering for all of you guys? I wonder why that is. I have more light than I usually do, and I think sometimes it buffers when there's not good light. So, teens and car wrecks are crazy here. My son is having a hard time. They have been friends since grade school. Yeah, that sucks. That absolutely sucks. I lost a couple of friends around that same age 35 years ago, and I still think of them every time I drive by that point on the road where they passed away. I'm glad it's not buffering for you, batshit crazy. Thank you for letting me know. So, Shan, yeah, I wonder what's up with that. Maybe that's the Hamburglar on your end. I mean, seriously, girl. Um, that whole thing is crazy. And and Rhonda says not buffering for her either. Or maybe it's something else. Maybe it has nothing to do with being hamburglarized. So we can hope. But you know, it's so weird that these entities spy on YouTube, or I guess watch YouTube or pay attention to YouTube. Okay, then it might be my internet. Yeah. Um, so I'm glad that it's not buffering for everybody, but thanks for letting me know, Shan. I'm gonna pin that. So, um, yesterday I said that one of the things that was most revealing to me, and somebody brought this up in your last live, Shan, was how there was nobody from Hollywood coming forward and speaking up for Maui. And I didn't say Hollywood yesterday, but I said rich and famous. And oddly enough, today, seriously, Oprah Winfrey and The Rock stepped forth for Maui. So I don't know if they're watching my little tiny channel. I'm kidding. I mean, it's probably just a synchronicity. But oddly enough, there's also a giant fire in Johannesburg, South Africa, yesterday or last night. Um, some type of apartment building that housed homeless people, and I think close to 80 people have been reported deceased. I'm just gonna say it. I don't like saying these things, but somebody's got to say it, and I can't leave too much up to the imagination because people won't know what I'm trying to say. Johannesburg is 44 minutes away from where Oprah Winfrey's school for girls, the Leadership Academy, 44 minutes away. So I just find it interesting that all of these people that are poverty stricken are dying in fires. I mean, sure, it's a toss of the dice and it's random and just another coincidence. Let's see. I connected to a different VPN spot. It's likely that. Very cool. Squirrels, yes. When my internet acts up, I get buffered. I hate it when that happens. The fires around the world are crazy as well. Right. The fires and the floods. And maybe it does have to do with this blue supermoon that happened last night at 9:30 p.m. East Coast time. Glad that The Rock is, but Oprah needs to take a back seat. I heard Oprah was land grabbing in Maui. Well, and I don't know if this has been substantiated, but I heard that the pillows that she was handing out, that people found computer chips in them, which that would be creepy AF if that's true and accurate. Um, that would be really twisted. So I have no idea if it is true and accurate. If anybody has any information on that, that would be great. I want to know why they aren't speaking on the accurate number of kids that even the school system has released. Right, Shan. Thank you for going straight there. 2,000 kids that are not re-enrolled in school. 2,000. That's way too many. So there's about roughly 1,000 that have either enrolled in school or are like enrolled for homeschooling. And some of it could be just from the chaos of people being displaced and temporarily homeless. But That's a lot, and why aren't they talking about it? Why aren't they saying that? Since they're not saying that, since they're not qualifying it, it's even more concerning, in my opinion. Um, let's see, 13,000 census and 16% children, 2,000 minors. That math matched the school. So where are the children? Um, well, right. So the numbers I saw were roughly in the ballpark of about 500 re-enrolled in school and roughly the same number, a little bit less, like 400 and something, um, enrolled as homeschool. So, yeah, but I think that there's still 2,000 not accounted for. So I think that the figure is closer to 3,000 kids in the Lahaina. I'm not saying Heine, right? Lahaina area. It's just such a simple word. It cracks me up. It's ridiculous that I stumble over it. Um, so yeah, I think that there's about 3,000 minors, but a lot of these kids aren't going to be school aged either. They're going to be 5 and under. So, um, I'm terrified. I'm terrified that entire families were wiped out. So the parents aren't coming forward to say, "Where's our kid?" Um, I'm terrified the possibility that there could be even just one kid abducted, some sinister nightmare happening and somebody taking advantage of a really bad situation. Because you guys, unfortunately, that's what evil people do is they take advantage of really bad situations like that. So somebody could have seen an opportunity and taken it. And maybe it wasn't a truckload of kids, but one kid is too many. I mean, all the chaos, it's just outlandish. And, I've heard people that were there trying to reconcile that this was all a natural disaster. And then, of course, we've heard all of the conspiracy theories that I have to be honest, it seems like they're not conspiracy theories. It seems like an orchestrated event, crisis. Um, let's see. Issue I have is this is the exact same thing happened in West Maui in 2018. It's a repeat, just a greater amount of deaths. Land grabs happened then, 3 fires. It's history repeating, all for land grabs. These poor Hawaii natives. I know, I know. Hey, Kay, nice to see you. It's been so long. I haven't seen your name in a while. Let's see, 460,000 children go missing from the United States every year. That's insane. That is so crazy. And if they're killing off the adult natives, then how do they come forward about their children? No lineage means no one to claim the land. Exactly, squirrels. Exactly. Oh, you're so sweet, Kay. Thank you. I'm going to highlight that just because that's so nice of you to say that. Sometimes I feel like I'm great, to quote you, just because I'm trying to just be myself. So I think that that's challenging to do, not only on the internet, but even just in the world, just to be you. Like to not put on any pretenses, to just keep it real, warts and all. Of course, I try not to show you guys my warts. I don't have any. I try to be genuine. I try to be authentic. And, I look for other channels that are like that, and honestly, I don't find that many. One that I've discovered lately is that Squirrel Tribe, which I think I've heard about it before, but, when I heard about it, I thought people were talking about the, Squirrel Squad. So if you guys don't know Squirrel Tribe, this woman is on fire. She's, I think, in Tampa, she's in Florida, and she's just like really focused and all over the place at the same time. So she's got a lot of information and a lot to say and a lot to share. She's very energetic, and it's just fun to see people like that. Like Shan is one of these people. Ara is one of these people that just bears all. Um, you know, there's a lot to this whole YouTube thing, but what I feel like is most important really is just to keep it low key and keep it real. Um, when I started, I thought that I would try to be like some kind of freelance newscaster. And very quickly I realized, no, that's not where I'm headed with this. This is just like the jazz show, you know. So thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting it. I can't believe I've made it past that 1 year threshold. I can't believe it. That was my goal. I figured that if I could do it for 12 months solid, that it would become more natural, which it has. And it's really exciting to be doing this. I love it. Um, I'd like to keep doing it for like 10 years. Like, who knows? We will see. It's very rejuvenating. You guys rejuvenate me. So thank you. Um, let's see. Watch Squirrel Tribe's videos on 2018 comparison to what's happening now. She comes with facts. I think she dropped it yesterday. Oh, yeah, I've been watching her closely. I've been trying to catch everything of hers, of the Hawaii real estate, of Hustle Beach. Um, those are all new to me just in the last week, and they all seem very genuine and informative. And, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting tricked. Maybe I'm getting fooled into thinking that there's BS going on that isn't going on. But I believe it. I honestly think that this is the truth. I think that this is a land grab, like I've described to you guys, having been to other Hawaiian islands. The tension is so thick you can cut it with a knife. The tension with the native energy, the spirits on the big island, it's Pele. Pele is the island spirit. And man, she was pissed, She had that volcano going for what, 3 decades? It might even still be going, I don't know. Um, but Pele, man, you don't cross the island spirits. We all remember the Brady Bunch episode where they went to Hawaii and had the little tiki doll that was supposedly bad luck, and for them it was. And that was a really interesting Brady Bunch, but it really embodied so much of the tension and the conflict that's there with uh native soil and becoming American soil, because the islands needed the support. I mean, they're out there in the middle of freaking nowhere. They need the support. I mean, I think that they were happy to, in some sense, they were happy to become colonized. And in another sense, it's never been a good thing. So, um, I'm also still super concerned that that one video that I saw with the 19-year-old young man from Lahaina who had gone to the Navy, that he lost 4 people in his family in their car, in their driveway, trying to drive away from the fire, the youngest of those being 7 years old. I'm really concerned that I can't find that video again, you guys. I've gone to my YouTube history and I can't find it there. So I'm afraid that it's been scrubbed, which I mentioned yesterday. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Military likes to stay very much on the down low, especially when it comes to anything controversial, anything political, which this could be. This could be. And I also want to say, no matter what started the fires, no matter if it was natural disaster, which we know it was, or electrical fires or arson, no matter what it was that started these fires, we're still where we're at with the people there needing a lot of help desperately. And I actually went on like the Maui website and they're literally begging people to come visit. Like they are trying to push for the tourism. Initially, when this happened, they were telling people to cancel their trips to Maui, which I think was a big mistake. So let's see. The day Kevin told us it was Kylie in that car, 22622, I had a heart attack, broke my heart. I still don't believe it. You know, I've been in direct contact with Kevin, and I don't want to say too much about that without his consent, but um, he's been taken for a ride too. So I think it's still up in the air. I honestly do. It could well have been her, and I think it could well have not been her. But I do want to talk about Kylie definitely. If it's not something done in secret, then why the media blackout? Exactly. Why the lack of help? Why the blame game? Why the 8 to 12 foot fences? Why lie about the death toll? Why lie about the children? They're still saying 115, you guys. Like, give me a freaking break. You hit it on the nail on the head, Shan. Absolutely, 100%. There's all kinds of effery going on. So that's why I'm convinced that this is out of control corruption. Totally out of control corruption. Nobody was being rescued. Lack of transparency screams inside job. Wow, 100%. Crazy how they gave, one sec, only $700 to families that lost homes and loved ones, isn't it? I mean, that wouldn't be enough even in the least expensive place in the country. Even 700 per person wouldn't be enough. I mean, COVID money was pretty big, right? And this, in my opinion, should be at least similar. It's absolutely nuts. And it's also nuts that it took the president 2 weeks to get there. And I won't even get into the things that he said when he was there. I mean, it's pathetic, in my humble opinion. I would need a DNA match to prove it's Kylie. They did nothing to confirm it was her other than an autopsy, in my opinion. I agree, Shan. I totally agree. Um, yeah, I think, sometimes we go back and forth on that. Some of the things that I want to talk about with Kylie's case is just how, again, hindsight's 2020. Looking back now on the interviews and the press conferences, um, the way her friends were acting, like for instance, Mags bawling her head off at the community center. That was like 3 days after she allegedly went missing. The bawling her head off tells me that she knows something is very severe, because let's think about it. If you had a friend that went missing for 3 days with their car, you might think that they got in a car accident and that their car is underwater, but wouldn't you mostly think that they took off? I mean, seriously? It's hard to say until you're in that situation, but I think that Mags, her response showed that she knew things. Shan is often talking about Nate H with his hand over his mouth, always with the hand over his mouth. Like, yeah, he's really trying hard to not speak. He's trying hard to hide his face. And there's, body language. You don't even need to be a body language expert to see how obvious that is. Um, let's see. You could give each household 5 million each, and it'd still be 30% of what's going to Ukraine. I said it. Yikes. Yeah. Hey Ninja Chihuahua, what's up? Hey, just lying in bed and lurking again. Thanks for saying hi. Thanks for dropping in. It's my favorite lurker. I love you, Ninja. That's cute, kind of like Grinch, Ninja. J. Rana Boomer, the island natives are so laid back, lived in Guam for years. Why do today, what can be done tomorrow. Heard said a few times tomorrow, or what uh Guamanians are language. That's cute. Nate H trying to hold secrets. LOL. Yeah, yeah. Um, wow. So I'm just kind of torn, like sticking with the Maui or segueing over into Kylie Rodney, because another one of the videos from Kylie Rodney's aftermath in the first few days is outside at that, what would you call it? Maybe like the search ground zero, although I didn't see anybody searching. I don't know if you guys did, but there's that blonde girl that comes walking up to Mags and hugs her as if she's consoling Mags. That speaks volumes. And then next to Mags is a really tall girl with long blonde hair that I always thought was Kate Cunio, but I'm not sure now. I've heard other people think that it was her and other people say that it's not her. So, I could swear that a year ago, Kate Cunio said that same quote that Sammy said about it being like Lord of the Flies at this party. And then, in my opinion, that might have been scrubbed if I'm remembering accurately. And I know I've talked to other people who remembered Kate saying it as well as Sammy. And that's just a really weird thing to say. Like, why would you say that? And then why would you stop saying it? This is something that I wanna say about Kylie's case that I haven't heard anyone else talk about, so tell me if you guys have or if you've thought about it. When Sammy takes the news crew out to the sanctuary where the party was, and she points with 3 fingers, and she's pointing at 3 trees, and she says, "That's where the lights are," and it's more like, you know, I think that it's like she's wearing a body camera, and it's weird. It's like the way, like, I've never seen anybody point with 3 fingers, and it's always grabbed my curiosity, but now I really wonder what the significance is of those 3 trees, and I'm just gonna say it. Could Miss Kylie Rodney have been tied up there? It's a question. It's just a question. Um, let's see. Like them having Sammy in charge of things. If I was Kylie's mother, she would have been highly suspect to me. Wouldn't be hugging on her, that's for sure. Well, Rhonda, I pointed out that I'm not so sure that she was hugging her as that she might have been holding her, threatening her after what looked like a passionate kiss on the cheek, and then she's like, looks like she's hugging her. It looks like they're freaking making out right there in front of everybody. And watching it in slow motion, Mark Molina made that video of it in slow motion, I think 5 months ago, but I only caught it a few days ago. And watching it in slow motion, it is very intriguing. So so I wonder if she was trying to make it look like she was being affectionate, but really she was saying threatening things in Sammy's ear, possibly. But what I want to point out with Kylie's case and with the Idaho 4 is that, and even with Maui, is that if it's what we think it might be, then there are unalivers that are free and clear, that are just running among the general population, and that's not okay. And that's, I mean, we're always talking about justice for the victims, like with the Watts case and looking at Chris Watts's mistress. Justice for the victims, but also keeping our communities safe and keeping dangerous individuals where they belong, in prison. Um, and it's just a lot. I mean, it's a lot to want to fight for justice for the victims, but also to fight for justice for the perps so that more people aren't victimized. Because imagine if you were one of these people that might have harmed Kylie or might have contributed to the demise of an entire family. If you were one of these people and you went undetected and you flew under the radar and you spoke to the authorities and you had them wrapped around your pinky, wouldn't you feel like empowered and superhuman and like you could get away with red rum? I mean, that's a dangerous setup. That's a dangerous predicament because somebody who's gotten away with it once is likely to repeat that, in my humble opinion. Let me drink some water and read what you guys are writing up here. Um, you squirrels on fire. You just said what another want to say. Um, what a lot of us want to say. I mean, what do you think about idea Sammy was fronting to cover her brother sold drugs and it was her demise? The burn the bum had a theory in an early video. Quite possible. I think again with Idaho 4 and with Kylie Rodney's case, I think that drugs are certainly involved, and I think that X-rated stuff is also involved. I mean, you take these beautiful teenagers, and teenagers are sexually activated usually. I mean, or like Idaho 4, they're 20 and 21. Why in all of these cases, and in Kylie's case, they made it a point to say that there was no signs of an assault. But we haven't talked about this in a long time, you guys. Remember with Kylie's case, they described the grooming of her pubic area. Like that was upsetting to me. You don't hear about the grooming of people's pubic area in autopsies, typically. I thought that that was very perverted and very disgusting and just, I don't know. I'd like to hear what you guys think about it. Um, let's see. Shudder to think. Maybe she was saying there's honor in silence. It will always seem odd to me. Her saying that 100%. Like that is bogus. Like that's just mobster. That is just mobster. The way Sammy caresses LRN's hand is as gross as LRN kissing and snuggling on Sammy. Yep, absolutely. Caresses. Yeah, absolutely. Same corruption, same ties, same kind of red room. I believe it. Yeah, I think that you know, there's just a lot at stake financially for these communities, um, and that they're trying to whitewash it. They're trying to keep it G-rated, trying to keep it family friendly. And uh, these things don't happen if it's all squeaky clean. Give me a break. Um, let's see. We suggest Sam drove with brother to and from party. Well, and I wonder too, I was wondering this out loud in one of my videos or maybe in one of Shan's videos. I wonder if Sammy didn't drive Kylie's car away from that party. When she says the whole thing with I'm in the passenger seat, with my ride. I mean, give me an effing break. That was in her Tony Dodge interview, and there was so much dodgy crap in that Tony Dodge interview, and Then you had that behavior panel go on the record saying that there was nothing dodgy at all and that she was just a trustworthy, lovely young woman. I mean, out of control. These people are paid, you guys. I mean, it's so obvious, 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 in my humble opinion. Um, let's see. I think a lot of those kids are rich party kids who gave no sheets about Kylie. Absolutely. I'm honestly glad I grew up as a teen with no internet influence, and I'm glad I moved out of Southern California in my early teenage years because I could have been in Kylie's shoes for sure. Um, every theory is possible except accident. I'm with you, Jayrana. That's right where I stand as well. Accident is a complete conspiracy theory, and it's ridiculous. Sammy was stroking LRN's hand. Yee. Yeah, who was it who was did a video just in the last few days about the programming and how Sammy was triggered by the hand holding. Did you guys see that? Um, oh, I wish I could remember who it was. They all just kind of blend together these days, right? I try to keep it straight, but they talked about her pubic hair, not her armpit hair or leg hair. Yeah, yeah. What was the verbiage? Something like neatly trimmed or ugh. It's just like I don't need to hear that. Like I really thought they were doing that for their own perverted satisfaction. Honor and silence is a butcher job on a similar quote by Jeanette Sagan. Ew, I have not heard that. But yeah. Um, silence in the face of injustice is complicity. Yeah, with the oppressor. Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Janetta Sagan, but yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. Squirrels on Fire. Who constrains on that about a child? Right. Such a great point, Rhonda. Especially on a child. Like that pathologist should be uh, punished for that. Yeah, that is absolutely disgusting. That's such a good point. This girl is 16 years old, if it was her or whoever it was. Um, in my opinion, I think Sammy had Kylie in the back of the car and her and Hamburglar called roadside in a panic. Again, in my opinion. Oh, I'm so fascinated to hear you say that, Shan. I've wondered about that too. Um, definitely have wondered about that. I definitely think that it's a possibility. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, in the beginning, when we first heard Nick's account, it sounded very plausible, especially the way he described the male and the female kind of walking around the car and keeping their distance from each other. Um, oh, the prophetic. I searched the silence phrase and Janetta's quote came up. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Thanks for sharing that. That's fascinating. 100%. So, I think that there's the possibility that Ms. Kylie Rodney passed away, and then there was the big cover up to protect, like, let's say she died of an overdose. Um, it would have been to protect whoever provided her with that. Um, let's say that maybe she is still alive. Maybe she's being trafficked. I think both are possible. And with so much sketchy information, without a DNA confirmation that it was her, um, with all of the weird business with her mother, all the weird business with law enforcement, all the weird business with the California Highway Patrol report still not being complete, you guys. Um, Sammy and Kylie was sharing drunks, but Kylie got messed up. Sammy did uh, messed up SD, not her. I believe that was a cover to explain her prints. Interesting, Rhonda. And I think it was a cover to, I think it indicates to me quite possibly that Kylie was roofied and Sammy was trying to cover for the fact that she was roofied. And, I mean, I'm not sure, but I would think that somebody could die of an overdose from being roofied. I don't know. But if they're roofied and then they're in a quote unquote friendly fight and they're injured and then they are assaulted more, that could definitely become fatal, right? And that's sort of where my opinion lies probably is that she was drugged, she was beat up, and then she was assaulted by other people, potentially the dudes that were at the party. And maybe not all those dudes were young. Maybe some of those dudes were full grown dudes. Ugh, absolutely disgusting. Um, let's see. I agree, Rhonda. Most of what SS says is a cover for her own arse. It shows the way she begs the kids to come forward to her and not Ellie. And all of the freaking photographs that have never been shown or leaked. All the videos of people making videos, so sus. No corroboration of DNA. Drinks, yeah, I knew what you meant, Rhonda. Um, JW's tattoo, "Stay Alive" for me makes me wonder a lot. Absolutely, squirrels. I totally agree. It could be just a thing, and it could be that he was still in the moment knowing or thinking that she was alive. And yeah, fortunately, sadly, it goes back to any theory is possible except one, the accident theory. It's so bad Ellie can't even explain it to us. Right. If the accident theory had any credence at all, it wouldn't take 12 months for the California State Highway Patrol to write a freaking accident report. Like, that's unreal. And what are they going to do? Are they ever going to submit this report, or is it just going to be left hanging out in the wind like that to cover things up? A girl isn't going to the back of a vehicle with the two front windows down. That makes no sense whatsoever either. Two windows down, the car is going to fill faster with water. Yeah, and then there's like the dent on top of the car that there's a lot of evidence to indicate that that car got in there in a different way than somebody else driving it in the water. That it could have been towed by a boat. It could have been pushed with a like an excavator type of thing. Um, yeah, there's a lot of mystery in the Kylie Rodney case, and you know, God forbid if she's still alive and she's being held hostage somewhere. God forbid. It's almost a fate worse than death, depending on your opinion of it. That report, if released, is going to cause even more questions. Right, because it's either going to be part of the cover up or it's going to open up a Pandora's box, one or the other. Um, I didn't want anyone to look again where she was found or supposedly found. And see, that's where I think, Rhonda, that they were hoping that it would be like a year before her vehicle is found, and then they really wouldn't be able to determine anything about the remains, about the size. Tattoo would be gone, jewelry would be gone. Would have been fish food, not to be gross, but that's what I think, is that they wanted it to be a very, very long time before it was discovered so that all the evidence would have disintegrated. Kylie, in my opinion, was going to expose them, and that's why so many kids are dead in a short time. They were Kylie's friends, in my opinion. These poor kids, God forgive them, evil people. Well, and then there's that theory too in the Idaho Four. So that Kaylee and Maddie were possibly exposing the same type of thing, like the trafficking. Um, and that's what that conversation was about, where Maddie, um, Kaylee says, Maddie, what did you tell Adam? And Maddie says, I told him everything. And then Hoodie Guy says, oh, Maddie, they're going to get you for that. Um, Again, why was Jack Showalter not thoroughly interviewed and investigated when he was one of the last people to hang out with two of four victims? It's absolutely ludicrous. And we get so bombarded with so much crap that we lose track. We forget. I mean, that's the whole thing with gaslighting, is to bombard you with so much crap that you forget and you're confused. So, I mean, that's just so simple and basic, as is so simple and basic that you don't let an 18-year-old run a search or an investigation, especially anybody who was close to what went down. But any 18-year-old, I mean, that is so freaking ludicrous. So freaking ludicrous. Let's see. I agree, Bear. I think she knew all the dirt on the elites. The fact her and Sammy both dated Hamburglers, very telling. Right. And like, what's up with his father? I think his father is single and extremely loaded and powerful. Um, I mean, power is such a huge issue, again, with all three of these cases: Maui, Moscow, and Truckee. Like in Maui, like they've literally taken the power away from the people. Like literally, they're without power, and it's metaphorical as well as literal. So, these young women being victimized, young hot women are such a threat to the patriarch. I'll just say it straight up. Too much power. You guys have seen the Barbie movie, right? I've done a really good job not talking about that on my channel just because it's so goofy. And yeah, let's see. Uh, Angela said that the family gave them the necklace photo, and out of respect, we are showing it. So that's the only actual image of Kylie, i.e., ever showed. Last video found by detective, yet no picture. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that whole thing with the necklace and the ugh, um, very, very suspicious. And Jack knew. Right, Deb. I was saying that in my video yesterday about Showalter, that his response indicates that he knows this whole backstory. That whatever it was that Maddie told Adam, again, if that verbiage is not just fabricated and overlaid into that video footage. I'm not convinced that it's accurate. I kind of think that that might be trying to take people down the primrose path, down another rabbit hole. Was Kylie trying to be emancipated? Apparently, right? She was 16. It was a month before she turned 17, and she was apparently the paperwork was in for her to be emancipated. From what I know, I, I believe Shan would probably know the accuracy of that. They only showed the necklace picture because the family asked. I thought that was an odd thing to say. The fact there's two possible for surveillance videos of not Kylie, and the fact we only got a pixelated picture of a screen of one tells all. Um, and true, it happens all the time when they think they are going to be exposed. They need to get rid of any threats. It says treats, but I'm sure you meant threats. So save their evil ways and keep moving money. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. The weakest link, right? I mean, that's what you do. You take out the weakest link. So, better late than never. I will watch. Start on replay. Yes, thanks for being here, Mr. Fred Field. Good to see you. Absolutely better late than never. Um, let's see. Replace pinned message. Oh my goodness, we're already close to an hour, you guys. The dad is married. The mom runs some of the biggest weed companies in California. Oh, okay. I thought they were divorced. I thought Mr. Hambrick was single. Um, and I thought that the mom, I thought they were divorced. And yeah, I knew she'd been running the growth operations for a long time. I think that a lot of this probably has to do with growth operations. In Northern California, Humboldt County has historically been where that would happen before all the mass production and kind of the legal medical medicinal marijuana became a thing. Humboldt County was the Scarface of THC. I mean, it was not like a warm, fuzzy, friendly place. It was as serious as um, anything south of the border with the white powder. I mean, seriously, people got shot up and unalived often. It was a regular occurrence. Um, let's see. I've not seen the Barbie movie. Rhonda, you gotta go see it. It's actually pretty cute. My kids made me go see it, and I was like, no, don't make me. It was the weekend that it came out, and we all went and saw it as a family, and it was pretty hilarious. The guys liked it as much as the girls. I mean, just super goofy. Great live. So glad I caught it. Even if I can't stay, y'all take care, stay safe, have a great day. Well, thanks. Yes, you too. Um, it's so nice to see everybody here. And where is Jackass now? As far as my knowledge, which, is not verified, but that he's been in Africa ever since this happened. When it's my opinion that if a couple of people that you were hanging out with were slaughtered, that even if you didn't know about it yet and you left the country, that you would come right back. You would come right back to help the investigation. You would come right back out of grief. You would just be drawn to come right back. I mean, when something happens to your friends, you come running. I mean, in the real world, um, yeah, I think he's in Africa still. I thought so. I believe he was afraid himself. Well, you bring up a good point, Bear of Love, is that all of these people can be in fear of their own lives. If Moscow is what it looks like, if it's just like this cesspool of corruption, then yeah, everybody is at risk. Thanks, Deb. Nope, still married, still living together with the daughter in the Bay. Oh, I thought they lived up the hill from Kylie. Maybe they have two places. Like, I guess most people in Tahoe have two places. What can we collectively do next to get justice for Kylie and the corruption? Point me in a direction. I think talking about it is powerful and not um, succumbing to the threats or fear because succumbing to that is not going to reduce the threat. It's actually going to empower them even further. Still in Africa, Deb says. Hola, Annie Ruler. I heard it was good. Barbie still has it. LOL. Yeah, when I had my first baby 21 years ago, my mother, who was quite not the Barbie type of mother, she sent me a Barbie of the pregnant Barbie. So it had like the 9-month pregnant belly that was magnetized and came off, and the baby was right inside. And I just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. I want to say that Barbie had kind of strawberry blonde hair too. I'm not 100% sure, but man, the baby in the belly and the way it came off with the magnets back on and off was just wild. I don't know if you guys have seen that one, but that's my favorite Barbie of all time. Lem is out of state and Hamburglar is at college learning to take after daddy and pap. Yikes. Um, hola, hola. Annie Ruler says hola with lowercase h and then hola with capital H. And letter writing campaign, postcards to California Attorney General. I have experience with trying to get authorities to do something about the corruption. And in my experience, those authorities are either part of it or they don't want to get involved. So I don't mean to be a naysayer. Like, yeah, do whatever you think is going to help. Um, you know, I think talking about it privately, talking about it publicly is very powerful just to keep the information flowing. I honestly don't know what to do to end it. It's so widespread in my opinion. I wish it wasn't. But yeah, I'm definitely not going to quit talking about it. Injunctions on the coroner would be a start, but we need the final CHP report and a California resident who will file the injunction. Annie, will you be in HT Live tonight? What's the HT Live? Fill me in. We are very collectible. They are very collectible. The pregnant one, you should have kept it. Dang it. Oh, I loved it. I might still have it, but who knows? I mean, 21 years later. I remember when Barbie dolls had such big brushes to fit in little girl's hand, but it was to fix Barbie's hair. Yeah. Yeah, and the funniest thing in that Barbie movie is the weird Barbie with the cut hair. Cause yeah, didn't we all have those? Um, totally funny. Ron, thank you. Squirrels on Fire. I'm not confident for CHP to supply anything more than a blank black piece of paper. That's funny, not funny. What's the HT Live? I feel the university is involved. Deb, I agree. Oh, hard truth. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I definitely feel like the university is involved. That they, the whole thing with the OnlyFans and the sororities. I'm telling you, Google's the one who told me that that was a thing. I was only suspecting it, and I Googled it, and Google is all about the OnlyFans and sororities. And then the sororities are obviously part of the university. So, um, I heard somebody theorizing that the Corner Club may have been involved with the trafficking of human trafficking and substances as well, which, that is something I had never thought about. So, just in the last day or two. I know Jay Rana, but everything needs to be finalized in order to file a proper injunction. I have the very first Barbie that came out in 1959. LOL. It was mine. LOL. That's so funny. was one OnlyFans. Um, I believe that they were all doing the OnlyFans. That's what all of those extremely hot, adorable, sexy photographs, especially like when you've got the girls kind of rubbing up against each other and sticking their rear ends out and just a lot of posturing. I am suspicious that those are all curated for OnlyFans. Um, let's see. Don't vehicles, well, some have black boxes. I'm not sure. Was just thinking about Kylie vehicle. I believe that Kylie's vehicle did have a black box, and I believe that that's being suppressed, in my opinion. I think it also has a lot to do with CULTS. That's probably a buzzword that we don't want to say in the YouTube land. Some of these buzzwords definitely get you tracked by certain people and probably the algorithms and stuff. Yes, the MAIT report will have black box info. The public, however, never see the black box info, aka data recorder, that will all be redacted unless you are family, law enforcement, or attorney. So I wonder about black box info on a Hyundai Elantra, on a 2015 Hyundai Elantra. Does anybody know? Does anybody know what channel TF is? MC said she was on last night with Zanime for first time. Goodness gracious. I have no idea what TF is. LOL, local bar is a great place to start looking for hooked and blow. Absolutely. I mean, typically that's where these things happen. And yeah, Adam was a bartender at the bar, so he would know a lot. Um, Megan was sleepy for 6 hours on her own live last night. Sleeping for 6 hours? Oh man, why is she doing these? What is going on? What a nut. Most cars have black boxes, but you need the right people going over the data, not corruption. Yeah, 100%. Yes, yes, yes. I was listening to a live, one second. Excuse me, from 3 a.m. So Megan had a live in the middle of the night last night. Like, what? Why would she be doing this? Like, why now? Why ask why? So you guys, let's see, it's just over an hour. I want to wish you all a very happy last day of August, and tomorrow will be the first day of September. This super blue moon passing should definitely have some kind of magic to it, in my opinion. Like, we'll see what happens with that. I'm hoping for a lot of truth being revealed in all of these cases. Megan's live, 6 hours of silence. Ninja Chihuahua? Really? Seriously? Yeah, I think I've like tuned into her channel like one time. I cannot take that individual. But I'm glad that you guys keep tabs on her. See, Ninja got my back, left my effing A off. We love you and your lives. Well, thank you, Bear. I love you guys. Sending you light, sending you love. Have a fabulous day. Be sure to eat your fruits and vegetables. Be sure to drink your water. Be sure to relax and take care of yourself and be kind and demand other people be kind to you. Forgive yourself, forgive people around you. Forgiveness is huge, absolutely essential for our physical well being as well as our mental health. Maybe she did a silent live with anime. That's good. Um, so yeah, Thanks so much for being here, you guys. Again, share, subscribe, ring your notification bell, and hit that like button on your way out if you haven't hit it yet. I'd appreciate it very much so. Um, I don't know how MC gets cleaning work done. I'm trying to clean a house now and haven't done anything since I saw you went live. Oh, you're so sweet. That's so nice of you to say that. Yeah, I sometimes will have the YouTube going while I'm doing housework. It's great for folding laundry. Yesterday I was doing a bunch of yard work and it was hard to do the YouTube with that because, the leaf blower and the weed whacker. So, but I found my AirPods, which, I'm still having trouble figuring out what to call them, let alone how to use them. I always want to call them ear pods because I'm just an old fogey like that. But with ear pods or AirPods, you can do the weed whacking and the leaf blowing. So JR, was it the Tony Guys channel? Haven't listened to a Megan live since December. Yeah, I know. You've done your fair share. You've punished yourself enough with all that work of listening to your own 7-hour conversations. So thanks, you guys. Peace out. Sending you light, sending you love. Have a great rest of your day. Make sure that you feel productive and make sure that you feel inspired. Whatever you do, it's so important for it to be that you're doing what you want to do, not what somebody else wants you to do. So, on that, I'm going to say have a fabulous day and see you on the next one. Thanks again, you guys. Take care.